So let's go over the Charleston step. Specifically, we're doing this Charleston step for quick step for when we're in partnership position. There's a lot more leeway if we're doing it in open position as far as the type of bounce doesn't have to necessarily match your partner as closely. And of course, you can do the Charleston with the kicks off the ground. There's many different ways to do it. But if we're going to do the one in partnership, then we need to match our bounces and the twisting of the feet, and it needs to be kept fairly compact. So if we go over the basic step of the Charleston, we'll be starting with the left foot and just taking a step, and then you'll point or kick your right foot forward, and then stepping back and point the left foot in the back. Now when you're practicing it on your own, and it's fairly large, I'm doing it without the bounce right now, whether you want to do the kick or the point, if you let your arms swing naturally, that'll help your balance. That is, unless something happens where your arms are going the wrong way. So generally with the contra body movement or the CBM, you're always using the opposite hand and leg. So if my left leg is forward, then I would swing my arm towards that leg. So you can practice just doing that. That's that natural twist in the body that helps you keep your balance. I would try not to think too much about what you're doing in the back, because usually it will work if you don't think too much. But if you happen to get lost, once again we have the opposite hand and foot. And I'll do it from the back. So if we step the left foot, point the right, right, point the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's fairly easy, but the difficulty is with the twisting action. So we're going to hold on to something. I'll just hold on to the rocker here. And we're going to be working the turnout muscles. We'll start with just one leg. Let's just put the right foot forward and rotate the leg in and out from the hip socket. So you want to make sure that you understand that you're doing the twisting, or any foot swivel actually comes from the bigger muscles around the hips and the thighs. That's what makes the feet turn. So if you're trying to do the turning just in the foot or the ankle, then it's a lot of extra work and it's not very stable. Then we'll work the other side and just turn the leg out and in, out and in. So out is when your toe points out, your knee points out, and in, your heel is going out. Then while you're holding on to something, just lift your heel slightly off the floor and twist on the balls of the feet, out and in. Again, be aware that you're using the muscles here. Now we have 6 deep rotators. So in addition to the superficial muscles, there are 6 very thin little muscles that are attached to the sacrum and then attached to the upper thigh bone. Those are your deep rotators. So we're actually using the deep muscles underneath the glutes to try to get the legs turning in and out around the pelvis. And then you should feel also when you turn out, you feel the inside muscles working in, and you'll feel the contracting back here around the top of your thigh and around the hips. So you really want to concentrate on those muscle groups. I do it from the back, turning in and turning out, turning in and turning out. Now, Charleston step is always done with the swivel on the balls of the feet, unlike happy feet where we rotate from the heels to the toes. So that's a whole different action. Now, what becomes difficult here then is when you're doing it on one foot and you're having to do the Charleston step while you do it. So we'll just go a little faster doing out, 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 out. So we're going to do the in before we step, and then do the out as we step. Then you're going to do the in, and then do the out on the point. And then do the in and the out on the step, and the in and the out on the point. that takes some practice. Now, some people can just do this automatically, and thinking messes it up. For most people, they have to actually learn it. So we're actually doing the in and out on the up. So you're doing out, up, out, up, out. So you're in between beats. Your or you could say in, is where you're reversing the twist. So whenever you're doing a point, putting the foot out or the kick, the legs are turned out. And then they turn in as you prepare to step, and they turn out as you step. They'll turn in as I prepare, they'll turn out as I point. They'll turn in, out, out. Now I'm going to count that as an and step, and touch, and step, and touch, and step, and touch, and step, and touch. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. If I do it fast, the accent is on the turnout, or bringing the heels in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Now that's maybe a little bit too fast for the first time. The other thing that has to show up at some point is a little bit of the pulse. So we're just going to practice this little bouncing action. This is where I find with couples trying to learn this, they have difficulty in getting their bounces to match. So just bouncing the heels off the floor. And you can just try bounce, put the feet slightly apart. Bounce, 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 bounce. So bringing my heels in, not thinking about it too much. Bounce, in, 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 in. Now if I go slower, you'll see that the in is on a slightly, well now I'm saying in. Heels are in, toes are out. So turning out, slightly down. Up, slightly up. Slightly down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Turn in, turn out. Turn in, turn out. Up slightly, down a bit. Up slightly and down a bit. Bouncing. Down, 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 down. Turn out and in. Another bounce. Out, 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 out. Toes out, toes out, toes out, toes out. Heels in, heels in, heels in, heels in. Now you do that for a while, you'll feel your calves are getting tired, so they are working too. But remember that the idea of the screwdriver, right, the handle turns the end of the tool, right? So we're really working from here down into the floor. So now if I do this very slowly, just going to do without the swivel, the downs and ups. And step, 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 step. So I'm not doing any twisting. When you go fast, the bounce is going to change a little bit. So don't try to think about it too much. Now if I do the two together, when I step, I'm going to turn my heels in or turn my toes out, however you want to think of it. Out, 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 out. So your free leg now begins to get a little bit of a flicking action. Flick, flick, and flick, and flick, and flick, and flick, and step. Bouncing. try it out, put the arms out, or hold your hands here to try to keep your core nice and strong. Just start doing the step. Forward and touch, back and touch. Turn your feet in and out. Bounce. We're going to also try this exercise of just walking with the bounce. And one, and two, and one, and two, and one, and two, and one, and two, and one, and two. Now putting it all together, we'll do this with the arms here. And one, and two, and one, and two, and one, and two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Now fortunately we don't have to do too many in the dance. Normally a set of 8 or so. But if you practice and build up your endurance, it'll be easy to do just a couple. So I hope that's helpful for getting started. But we have to make sure before we put this together as a couple that you're both pretty secure alone before you try it together. Now in this close-up of the feet, I'm going to show the bounce where the accent could be on the down or the up. So we'll start doing the bounces and in and out. So right now I'm going down when my toes are turned out. Or I could go up when my toes are turned out. So starting the Charleston step. Here I'm doing the down and then the up and the down and then the up. The down being on the up being on the step, the down being on the up being on the point. Now I'll put the twist in. Up, up, and up, and up, and up, and up, and up, and up. Now I'm going to switch to down, 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 down. 1, 2, 1, 2. So there my 2 is slightly softening. Or 1, 2, 1, 2, and there my 2 is on the up. This is where a lot of couples get mixed up because one of them will want to naturally feel the opposite, the accent going down, and the other, the accent going on the up. 1, or 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 1, 2. So you want to make sure you're doing the same thing with your partner. I normally feel it on the up, but it's just like many things we do, we can accent different parts of the rhythm. So you want to make sure you're clear when you try that together.